Okay, I want to show you how to do a forked heel, and it's another kind of short row variation, a fancier variation to like the double wedge. You're doing short row methods to create a shaping. This is a similar thing, and what you're going to do is how you want to do is divide your loom in half, divide by 3, and you round up if it's 0.5 or higher. You round down if it's 0.4 or lower, and that'll be your decreases on either side, and then your rounded up or down number will be your middle. I'm using the 40, that's 20, and then I have 7 and 7. So we're going to go in and we're going to do a short row of 7 wraps and turns on both sides. So it starts off pretty normal. You want to work your way over and then wrap and turn on, say, peg 20, which is what I'm doing. Alright. And you're going to go in and you're going to wrap and turn to where you have 6 single stitches in between 7 wraps and turns. Alright. So I'm going to show you the other wrap and turn, and I'm going to tell you to pause the video and get your wraps and turns done, and then I will show you how to go about and set up to do the fork. Alright. Oops. Take that back one. Here. Wrap and turn. Okay, then you're just going to knit your way over and wrap and turn. So pause the video, get 7 wraps and turns here, 6 single stitches, and 7 wraps and turns set up. Then we'll go from there to set up the fork. Okay, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wrap and turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wrap and turns. Now we need to create our fork section, and what we want to do is we want to start on the peg we finished with, which is the 6th one over here, and we want to knit our way back and I've placed a stitch marker on the middle of the wrap and turns. Now because I have an odd number, it's easy to find my middle, but if you say you have 6, to find your middle you'd want to just go over 3 rather than 4. So you want to do your less number. If you divide it in half, you just go to where the bottom half is. So if it's say 8, then you'll just want to go over to 4. So, but because 7 is an odd number and you have an exact middle, I'm going to be knitting 2 together 4 times. So, and I placed a stitch marker for the middle one on both sides. Alright, we're not going to touch these other 3, okay? Now we're going to go back the direction we came, and we are going to go in and knit the 2 together on the other side. To our stitch marker, which is 4 wraps and turns. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So half of, you want to knit halfway back on your wraps and turns. Alright, then starting with the peg you finished, you're going to knit to just before the last wrap and turn on the other side and go back to decreasing again. Okay. So there's our last wrap and turn. So you're going to go back to decreasing. So wrap and turn and knit your way over. So you're going to decrease down to where you were again, to where you have the 7 wraps and turns, 6 single stitches, 7 wraps and turns. And then you'll be able to go from there. Alright, so there's our last wrap and turn. So we're going to wrap and turn that one just before it. And now we're just going to wrap and turn our way back down. And this is creating a fork. There's our last wrap and turn, so we'll wrap and turn the one before it. So go ahead and pause the video, get it to where you're down to 6 single stitches again, and then we will go from there to finish up this particular short row heel. Okay, so pause the video, get your wraps and turns back down again, and then we will go from there. Okay, we now have our 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 singles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now what you may find is you end up on the opposite side from where you began, and that's okay. Since we've knitted all the way back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and knit those two over so that we stay on at the increase in the correct spot, so that when you're ready, your last one should be over here and you work your way around. So after we knit those two together, then we're going to start with the peg we finished with and knit our way over and knit in the next wrap and turn. Start with the peg you finished with, knit over and knit in the next wrap and turn, and you're going to do this all the way back out, and then when you get to your last wrap and turn, you're going to knit two together, which should be over here, right here. Then you're just going to knit your way around. Okay, so start with the peg you finished with when you go to knit back. So pause the video, complete adding in your wraps and turns, and then I'll show you how to finish up after we add back in that last wrap and turn over here. I'll show you how to finish up. Okay? Alright, so pause the video, add back in all your wraps and turns, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I'm going to show you a little trick that keeps holes from showing up on your side here at your starting point. I wrap and turn that last peg that's just before your starting point, and then I just, at this point, knit all the way around. And then add back in that last wrap and turn on the 20th peg, and then knit the other half. So there's my last wrap and turn, and then just knit my way around to the other side, and then knit those two together when I get to that wrap and turn that I created to keep holes from showing up. Alright, and then that is how you do a forked heel. Now it's hard to see because it's still on the loom, but you'll see a fork out here. You see that fork out? Well, you also have a straight line that goes up. Okay, So that is what a forked heel is. And the benefit of the forked heel is if you have a particular heel that kind of juts out more in the back and doesn't go straight down or whatnot, this is a heel style that helps with that, okay? So that's kind of an option there. But that is how you do a forked heel. It's really not that difficult. And it's all based off of short rowing. Alright, so that is how you do a forked heel. And there is another heel style